So just to conclude what we had so far, we've seen how hackers began in the 90s and 80s. We've seen what caused the change, the use of hacks nowadays. We've seen hackers hacking for power and how they abuse this power and manipulate it to monetize out of it. And then we've seen how hackers step up and basically hack for information, and they then steal this information and they sell it to other people to make a profit out of it. It's important to understand as well, as I presented the big companies' names, big vendors. The bottom line is that they were insecure, and it only shows that if big players are insecure, small businesses and small owners and small services providers are also. And we later on will see that hackers, since they're not all equal and they have different abilities, they were not all trying to go for the big names like Sony. Most of them will try to reach for the low-hanging fruit and will look in their nearby environment, whether it's local websites, in-state websites, and stuff like that. So basically, everybody is at risk, and these problems and these threats, technological speaking, are equal for big players as well as to small-time businesses. Moving on, we will speak about hacking for fraud. Previously, we have seen that hackers were using information and using this type of information to sell and buy it on the black market and make money out of it. Of course, if hackers can get to their actual money, they won't have to trade this commodity. They can actually regenerate the money or steal the money by themselves. Now, hackers have three main techniques, three main attack vectors, which they can use to commit fraud. The first will be to infect users with malware. Users could be visitors visit a certain website or even its customers. Changing user financial records. If the website, whether it's an online store or an online banking, or we can say that actually changing the financial records on the website is something that they can benefit out of it, transfer it to other websites, cash it out, etc. And the third will be to exploit customers who are currently logged into the system to commit action on their behalf. We will now go to see how each of these attacks can be implemented. We'll start with the most simple scenario, which will be the cross-site scripting. For quite some time, folks, people were confused and puzzled about cross-site scripting. In the beginning, it seemed a very lame and a very weak vulnerability, and most websites ignored it. But the truth is, as time went by, hackers were trying to realize what is the actual potential of cross-site scripting, and they played with it a little bit until they found out that it can be, almost a perfect social engineer tool. So nowadays we are seeing persistent cross-site scripting, which is in case for the hackers able to modify a piece of the website persistently for a given customers or a given user. In that case, he can actually try in a way to blend in with the actual website. So we can see that hackers are using persistent cross-site scripting to basically inject fake elements into the website, and one of them could be a fake application link. So imagine if you're an online store or an online business and somebody adds a reader button or an app or a mobile app button. Now these customers are accustomed to click on these buttons and to get a better experience, an upgraded application. Most likely your customers, your users will be convinced this is something that they're interested in and will click on it to try it on. So basically what happens is that the hacker, although he cannot have an access to the actual information on the website, and he cannot have actual access to the customer computer, will use the website as a mediator to infect the actual website customers. Sorry. So the bottom line is that we have customers and visitors infected with a malware, which will either steal the credentials to the very same website or to other websites, and as a result, they will get fraud. And of course, the legal implication will be that they got infected while visiting this website. And of course, we again have this issue of the website reputation is being damaged, and in some cases even subject to legal actions and lawsuits. So here we have an example of an opportunity seized by hackers in 2008. As you can see, it's a very interesting example. The reason I picked it is because it actually happened during HTTPS. Now, I heard a lot of people talking about HTTPS, being a very secure way to connect to a website, is somewhat ensuring there is no hackers in between. So this is not true. HTTPS is actually a secure manner to get connected to a resource, such as a website. So it does not guarantee that this website is not vulnerable and otherwise cannot be exploited or tampered by hackers. So here we can see an example of an online banking form, an Italian online banking. And as you can see, it's an HTTPS. And if you can see in the bottom of the picture, there's a form injected by the fraudster. So he actually changed the way the online banking form looks like, and by adding this extra field, he can now take information or query information to the user that he usually won't have to give. Now with this information in hand, he can then go ahead and pose the user or try to make action on his behalf. This is one example. The other example, like I said, could be injecting a fake update button or any other way to get to the user computer and from there to fill credentials and committing fraud.